Hey everyone, welcome back to the Black Mental Wellness Lounge. It's been way too long for me to get back and start doing these videos, and it's definitely been too long since I've done one for Future Black Voices. So, as you can see, we have a new setup. So the family and I moved, and so this is the Black Mental Wellness Lounge. We're gonna get some art for behind me in a bit, but I wanted to do a video specifically around public speaking. So those of you who know me and know me well know that I love public speaking. I know a lot of people can't stand it, are fearful of it, but it's truly been one of the things that has elevated my career. So in public health, in mental health, in social work, you can really start to get your name out there. You can get your work out there, have people understand the great things that you bring to the table through public speaking. So I know a lot of people are like, how do I get into it? So really, I started my public speaking. The first presentation that I ever did publicly was when I was working at Johns Hopkins. I went to a conference and did one-on-one the study that we were working on at the time. And I was terrified until I got up and started to say the words and talk about what I knew. And so bring that up to now. And since the pandemic, I've done well over 50 public speaking engagements since the pandemic. So it's been pretty crazy trying to manage all that, but it's been fantastic. So a couple suggestions on, first, let's start with like some things to consider when you're speaking publicly. So first, practice. So whether it's in front of people, whether it's by yourself, I like to do by myself. Understanding and getting a feel for saying the information. A lot of we already know you guys are experts in the things that you want to talk about and the things that you're passionate about. Make sure that you really think about how you want to deliver that information. So the audience that you're working with is critical to this. Are you presenting in front of professionals? Are you in front of paraprofessionals, families, friends, community members? Who are you talking to? And also, what do they want from what you're saying? Do they want strategies? Do they want data? Do they want input? Do they want lived experience? Do they want next steps? Think through that and kind of like marinate on that to figure out like what best is going to work for the people that I'm delivering a presentation to. It's also good to figure out your cadence, right? The flow of your presentation hinges a lot on how you time it, how you deliver the words, really thinking through, how do I want this to go? How do I want this to feel? Pace is very important. So making sure that you're not talking too fast or you're not talking too slow, so that at the end, you're like, okay, I have 5 minutes to cover 15 slides. So just figuring out what works for you. Figuring out slides. Do slides work for you? Sometimes I've done presentations where I haven't used any, and I would just go off of the top of my head with information that I felt really comfortable with and felt that approach would resonate with the people I'm working with. So, thinking through those things about slides. And obviously, I think we all know, do not read off of slides. Do not fill your slides with paragraphs and paragraphs of information. That is going to put people to sleep. You really need to know the material. Also, the more comfortable you are with the material, the more it'll translate when you're speaking publicly. And so for me also, I try to relax and figure out what ways make you feel good before you're going into a presentation. For me, I pray before every presentation, just to keep my mind settled, to keep me settled, to really get the best out of myself in the presentation. So that's my strategy. There are a number of strategies that may work for you as well. And so the other thing is, give it a try. I know so many people are nervous about it. If you take the opportunity and get out there, you never know what can happen. And most times it's going to be positive versus negative. And if there are things that you want to tweak, you can definitely do that after you go back and think about how the presentation went. I have not had all good presentations. I have some that I'm like, that didn't go the way I wanted it to go. And I go back, regroup, and figure out what went wrong, how can I improve on it, in what ways can I make sure that this doesn't happen again. And the other piece of this is, well, how do I do it? How do I start to get presentations? The first thing I would say, look for conferences. Apply to present at conferences. Take your work to, whether it's a poster presentation, whether it's an individual breakout session. Start to do that. Ask someone, if you know someone who does presentations and you want to co-present on them with something that you've worked on together or something that you're really passionate about. Ask them if you could participate, especially, and let people know that you see them doing presentations and you're like, hey, I'm really interested in this topic. I would love this is the work that I'm doing. This is where I am and some of the things that I'm doing. And I would love to be considered for a presentation or a panel. Panels are really good ways to get started as well. And people do that. I have made sure to connect colleagues of mine and people that I know, people that are up and coming, whether they be students, etc., to make sure that I am giving them opportunities as well. It's important for us as Black professionals to get our name and faces out there so people don't have to go to the same individuals who probably don't do it as well as you do to keep doing presentations and doing these things. We as Black people need to show our expertise and our value in the field as well. So I would definitely really think about those things. Think about opportunities. If you see certain conferences that are annual, APA, American Psychological and Psychiatric both do conferences. American Public Health Association does conferences, but there are so many other smaller conferences that really go into like some of the deeper dives. Definitely get connected with those. You can make great impact there as well. But public speaking is definitely, I would say, public speaking, networking, relationship building, and just working on my craft are the things that have really propelled my career. And so again, my email address is public. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. But just keep pushing, keep working, and don't be afraid to challenge yourself and step out there if that's something that you're interested in doing. So thanks. We're going to be putting out more videos again soon, but it's great to be back. So thank you, and